Hi, it's Cami. I'm excited to have you back again. Today we're going to be talking about how to get your customers to buy without trying too hard. And you are listening to Smart Social Secrets Tips. Where we come every Thursday at about 9:30 to talk about how you can use social media to grow your business, your consultancy, whatever you do. So that is what we're doing today. And I'm going to dive right in as people join us. If you're watching this replay, definitely put your comments in the comments thing, and I will respond to them all the way. And if you're here today, let me know you're here so that I can introduce or say hi to you. Oh, hey, D. Scott. Yes. So I'm going to run through really quickly my 3 top tips for getting people to buy what you are selling and offering without trying too hard. And I think that's really important because I think it feels very hard to go out and create new offers and do all of that. So I'm going to give you a little bit of hope and try to start giving you a couple of tips. So I'm going to jump right into the tips. There's 3 of them. They're all really important, and I found them to be pretty impressive whenever you use them properly. Okay. So number 1 is to really get your customers to really get to know who your customers are, what their problems are, and any objections they might have in advance. And you'll say, how do I do that if I don't have customers, right? So you're like, I don't have any customers. How do I get them? How do I know where they go? How do I find them? There are a couple of really great tools out there that you can use to do some research on this, and I'll share them in about 1 second. But before I do, I want to come to you. I just want to look you straight in the eyes, and I want to say, you need to talk to people. You have to talk to the people. I don't care how much online internet research you do, you will have to take the time out to go out and talk to people who could be your ideal customer. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. Once you find somebody who could be your ideal customer, instead of selling them, ask them to do a little interview with you, or tell them that you'll help them with a little problem that they have or a little piece of their problem for free so that you can hear what they have to say. That's if you're starting from nothing. If you have current customers and clients, you need to get on the phone, the Zoom call, whatever is necessary. When I was putting together Smart Social Mastery, which is my new membership program this last couple of months, I spent the last 6 months before this talking to people and asking them, how can I help you solve your problem? Didn't ask them like that. I was like, what are you facing right now? How can I help you? What are you doing? I had lunches. I hung out with people. I listened to them on Zoom calls. I had lots of meetings. I asked people to talk to them. I presented what I was thinking about doing, and they told me what was interesting in my offer. They told me exactly what was interesting in my offer. And then when I went to put the offer together, what it did was it made it really, really powerful and attractive for the people that I was trying to bring into the program. So that's number 1, is really getting to know your ideal client's problems and what they are facing right now. And then I'll go into the next one in a minute. But before I do, I will show you a little bit of the research tools I have. Because yes, you can do some online research. One of them that I think is really underrated, nobody talks about it, but I think is pretty cool. It's called Soovle, Soovle. And it is basically a search engine of search engines. So you go in there and you type in your search, and it actually pulls up what happens in all of the search engines. So it looks Yahoo, eBay. It's really ugly. Like the UX is terrible. But if you go here, you can click on any one of these things and kind of dig deep into what people are searching for, right? So, which is the best digital? I just decided on how to start up a digital marketing agency because right now I'm working with a lot of agency, a consultant type of people that help other people. That's sort of my new membership thing with Smart Social Mastery, is to help those people. And so I just thought, what are people searching for? Are you looking for your best digital marketing agency? That's for clients, but which is the best? Okay, so there's a lot of which is the best here. Here we go. Starting a digital marketing agency course. Very interesting there. So what's interesting about that for me is I can also see what my competitors are doing. So somebody obviously is trying to reach the same audience, and they have a YouTube video. Look at that. It takes me to a YouTube video that I can then see, what are people doing? And this takes too long to load, but I can go in here and watch this, see how my competitors are doing that. Another really cool one that nobody talks about yet is called Topic Mojo. TOPICMOJO. Topic Mojo is really, it's a free tool. It is a paid tool if you want to like do more, but it's a really great free tool that you can use to do searches. And I did this one again, digital agency startup. And it looked in Google, it looked on Reddit, it looked on Quora. And these are places I tell people to go look a lot too, is Reddit and Quora. They have a lot of people in there complaining and asking questions. And that's an ideal place for you to do research. If people are complaining and asking questions, then you can hear what their actual pains and problems are without even asking them. So it's a good place to start. Certainly, once you get there, again, please go and talk to people. Let's see. Oh, Kathleen showed up. Hi, Kathleen. How are you doing? From Houston. Kathleen from Houston. And hello to Scott from Oregon. Let's say hi to you guys real quick while we're catching up with my very fast talking. I also use another one, and I was having a little bit of trouble like logging into it this morning, called SparkToro. Also has a free version of, and what I like about SparkToro is that you can go in and get demographics about people that are searching certain things, including like what they read, where they. It's a very, very powerful tool. You can only do 5 searches for free a month, but SparkToro is really, really cool. You're welcome, LinkedIn user. I don't know who this is, but yes, I'm trying to give you free and easy to use tools that anyone could use. That's exactly what I'm doing. That is exactly what I'm doing. So that is what we have here. And so a Spark Toro S, I'm going to type it out for you here. Spark, it'll pop up because I use it all the time. Spark Toro. I had some issues with it this morning. Why? I don't know, but I was having a hard time logging in. But in the end of the day, what it does, and I'll just go to the how it works part so you can see, I have some searches that are already done in the back end, but I couldn't get them done fast enough. But you do have a front end search thing, so you could put in here whatever you want to, digital agency startup. You see, I have searched that here before. So let me search that real quick and see what happens. And then it'll give me an account to register. So it'll go through and look. And what I love about this is it gives you a couple of these per month. On the front page, it gives you a free one, obviously, but you can't keep doing that. It'll show you, oh geez, yeah, it's going to make me do it right away. But there's a website, it shows you websites, podcasts, YouTube channels, media. Some of this is paid, but this you can do free searches for like the top level stuff. I really like SparkToro. It gives you some depth on where you can find people. Why this is important, by the way, knowing like what people read and where they go. There's 2 reasons. Number one, if you know what websites they look at, you know what podcasts they listen to, you know what YouTube channels they care about, you can like first of all look at those channels and see what is it about their messaging that maybe there's a hole or something they're missing, something you can bring to the table that your competitors are missing. And then that really gives you an edge. Number 2, for podcasts and things like that, you can try to get on those podcasts. You know, you can see if you could be a guest, that kind of thing. That takes a little more doing and finesse, but it is something that really, really can help. So that's number 1. So knowing exactly what your customers' problems are is really important. And I also put on their objections. So if you already know why people object to buying your product or service, you might also want to think about in advance, you know, coming up with content that deals with those objections like beforehand, so that if they say, hey, well, what if this costs too much or whatever it is, what if you already had thought through all of the objections that your customer has and you have content that backs up how you can overcome that. So that can be another thing that you can do. So for example, I know, thank you for LinkedIn user, whoever you are. Oh, it's Andrea. It's Andrea. Thank you, Scott. You're helping me. Hi, Andrea. You have to give LinkedIn permission, and you don't have to, but now I know it's you. Good. But I know that a lot of my consultant clients will say that. They'll be like, I can't afford all these tools and they're too much and blah, blah, blah. So I have content that will help you get to the result without a lot of expense. So content that I know meets objections. Say that right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, and Kathleen, yeah, I hope you do try them out. Let me know how it goes for you, okay? I'm going to share this real quick. So that's objections. And I'm going to move on right now to the next one. Let me move on to that, is using their language exactly. So once you start to talk to people and to hear what they have to say. And you can do it with later, once you have actually a product and service that you're using a lot, you can actually get their language, like testimonials. I'll show you a few of those in a minute. But while you're researching, make sure that you grab text, like their questions that they're asking, the things they're complaining about. Another really great place to find where people are complaining about things, by the way, that I didn't say earlier, is Facebook. So Facebook groups are awesome, not for prospecting, but Facebook groups are great for searching. They're like a whole search engine. So like if you go into a group and at the top there's a little, magnifying glass, and there's a bunch of people in there that are your ideal customer, do not pitch them because that's somebody else's group, but definitely go in and put keywords in of things that, are pains or problems. Like, I sometimes, put a question mark in and see if that pulls some things up. But anyway, you put in some of the keywords of things that you can help with, like writing question, or just the word question, and just see what the questions are and see if you have something that would be useful for that. And then look exactly at how they say the words, copy it and put it into a document. I use Evernote, and I call it my word vault, and I put everything into my word vault, and I put it in categories. I'm very I teach this in my courses and classes how to do this, but this is like really powerful to do this, is just to put that there. And then when you're starting to try to write things or do things, you can pull text and information from that vault to write. And by the way, Andrea, I need to give you the link to that vault since you're here. She does a lot of writing for me. So yeah, the vault is like really, really critical to having those words that people are saying, and so if you use their words, it's going to go much better. And number two is understanding exactly who they are and so on, is because they can, you can use that in ads and things like that. So currently, if you run a Facebook or an Instagram ad, if you're doing that kind of work, Facebook is really like, you used to could target certain things, like certain organizations, like people that like PRSA, for example, and you could show ads to people that like PRSA. And I did that a lot because that's my group, right? People like that. And so the problem is you can't do that anymore as much. And so now your messaging has become even more critical. You have to have the things that you're putting out there, either organically or ads or whatever, to sift the people that are watching them, so that people opt in or opt out of your content and you attract the right people. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm hoping I'm making sense here. But by using their language, the problems they're talking about, exactly, you actually are going to have people think, how is she reading my mind? How does she know this about me? It's really important, because if one person is thinking it, many, many more are as well. Okay, enough said. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. The other thing that you want to do for exact things is get testimonials from your clients. And that can actually turn into great content ideas too. So I'm going to show you a few that we've collected recently as far as testimonials. Oh, there it is. So this was from the Instant Authority workshop that I did a couple of weeks ago, and we'll do another one of these workshops in June. So if you're interested in the Instant Authority workshop, just DM me and I'll make sure I'll send you a link to the place where you can actually sign up for information when we open up the next one. But we are going to do another one, and it was really cool because we were able to create 90 days of content ideas in about, I don't know, 17 minutes. It was crazy. I didn't expect it to only take 17 minutes. It did. So we did it. I kind of set them up for it and did some stuff with them. And then I set them loose to do the work, and they did it in 17 minutes. It was amazing. Yes. Yes, Marilyn. It helps them to identify with you. Exactly. You're looking for points of connection, right? With your words and things like that. So I'm going to share the screen now, and maybe I should do it bigger for you guys so you can really see it. So I'm right in the middle of it. So this was from the Instant Authority workshop. It said, I needed Cami to crack the whip today so I would get this work done. So I like the word crack the whip. Like, I might think about putting that in some of my copy on my landing page for the next Instant Authority workshop. I've got to go back and like clean up that landing page for Instant Authority. And so I'm going to be looking at what they said during the class to then bring it back. And of course, I will put these testimonials on there too. Actually, I added these testimonials like for the sale of the Smart Social Mastery course as well. And then somebody said I felt like I had the outline for a book that I always wanted to write. So I was able to get them to put together something that felt like a book outline. So D. Scott, talk to me. Maybe you and I can collaborate on that, because I know you're doing a lot of book helping authors create books. I love that. I need to write a book too. So we need to talk. Anyway, so Alan said, yeah, he called me the master practitioner. I don't think I'm going to use that in copy, but I thought it was interesting. This has been so helpful and a great chance to get over a hump. See, I'm like zoning in on that. I've been trying to climb for a couple of months. Now I feel like I'm on my way. I'm getting over a hump I've been trying to climb for a couple of months. That phrase could be really, really useful in copy, ad copy, landing page copy, email copy. And Sheena says, this is extremely out of character for me, but as soon as you shared your offer, I ran to get my credit card. Lots of value here. So that was interesting to me. Actually, that is something that surprised me. In the Instant Authority Workshop, I actually made, instead of a webinar, like everybody has these webinars and they sell you a bunch of stuff on the webinar and anyway, I go to a lot of them. I've been to a lot of them and they're good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not against webinars. They work. They really do work. But the problem with my audience is that number one, they don't have a lot of time. And so that's like a waste of time somewhat, so I want to make sure if somebody comes and sits in something that I did sell them something. Okay. I sold them into the mastery program at the end. Some of you are here, know that, right? You were here. And hey, Russ, you were there too. So, I did sell them, but what was really, really interesting about this to me is that, right about the middle, well, it's about the middle, like kind of 2/3 of the way through, I was kind of wondering where I should put my pitch, right? So I know from a lot of my research and like training that I should put the pitch earlier. Like you should actually teach, and then pitch and then teach again. I do know that. But somebody in the group, and I still don't know who it was, said, hey, are you going to get to that thing you want to sell us like soon? Because they didn't want to drop off. And we had already done the 17-minute, content. I'd given them huge value. They walked away with like knowing exactly what they needed to do for their visibility content for 90 days at least, and so that was really, really powerful. And when I gave my pitch, by the way, that they kind of forced me into doing the pitch earlier than I thought I would. I did the pitch, and that's what I got from one of the participants. Like I ran to get my credit card because they saw the value. So my point is that if you have to think about your audience and who they are and what they need from you. And what my audience needs from me, and I know this, is they first of all need results. They need results and they need them fast. And so I've done all these things to create little wins, and including in the program. So Mastery Program is going on right now. I'm just about to give them 3 things this Friday that they're going to be able to do like right away. And it's going to absolutely give them like complete clarity on a couple of things about who they should be serving, like what is their superpower, like what is it about them that stands out in the marketplace. It's a couple of things like that. Anyway, what their vision needs to be, all of it is going to be happening like this week. And then every week I'm going to keep doing that, like little wins that they can build upon. And that's really important for my audience and probably for yours too. And you have to think about exactly what kind of wins you can give them and how you can shortcut the process, right? So anyway, I'm going to keep going. I'm giving away my next step, really. So here's another one. This is actually for Zoetica, which is my agency. We do done for you social media management and community management for medium-sized to large companies. So this one is from Home Remedy. They're a renovation company. We love working with Zoetica. They create relevant, creative content that we don't have to provide or manage. We don't have to provide or manage. That was huge for them. They didn't want to be always having to deal with it. We have confidence, their team, and their knowledge. Anyway, so that we don't have to provide or manage. I'm actually working on website copy right now. That's going in my website copy, plus the testimonial. So hear what I'm trying to say. Does everybody start to get how this works? That'd be great. Okay, cool. And you're not seeing that, so I'm going to go back and do that. I guess I wasn't showing that this way. Let me show it to you. So yeah, so this is, let me pull this up. So yeah, this is how it looks. So we've made that, what I just read to you. We love working with Zoetica. They create relevant, creative content. We put it into a little social media posts. So we're going to put that out on our social media channels. We're going to put it on our website. We're going to put it all those places. We're gathering these testimonials from clients, current and so forth. And then the next one that I grabbed here was this one. And this one came from my Smart Social Secrets course that I launched about a year and a half ago. And it says, Cammy's a genius. I won't put that in copy, by the way. That's really nice of her to say that. But the second part, there's no way I would have done all this necessary work alone. That I think is really critical. And I heard that too from my instant authority people as well. Like at that workshop, they said similar things. Like, I just wouldn't have made the time for myself otherwise. And that became a huge part of the marketing for instant authority and also for smart social mastery as I'm bringing it to people and saying, hey, being in this program, you are not going to set aside a time to do your own marketing unless you have like somebody like facilitating that for you. And that's what they're finding. We are doing part of the Smart Social Masteries, we're doing work sessions together. Like we come on, we set our intention, we work for an hour, and at the end, you have something completed. So if you do that week after week after week, can you imagine how much value that adds to somebody in their business and how much further ahead they can be if they just sit down for that 1 hour a week and do that? If they did only that, I know they would be successful in their business. So anyway, so having that kind of thing for your clients and knowing what they need is so important. Okay, so this is the last one, and I'm going to be real quick about this one, but don't try too hard. That's the last one. Care more about them than you care about the sale. This is so critical, guys. I can't tell you, especially on LinkedIn. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, this happens almost every day. Somebody reaches out, they want to connect with you, they connect with you, and then they immediately pitch you like, hey, are you interested in this? And I'm like, I don't even know you yet. I don't know if you're good. I don't know if there's anything about you that I like. Why are you pitching me within the first 20 seconds? I mean, it's just like dating, right? Why would you do that? Why would you proposition somebody in like for marriage, like in the bar as you're sitting at the bar or anywhere? So, if you're walking in the park and you run into them and you love their dog and you start talking about dogs for a minute and you say, hey, I like you a lot. Let's get married. You'd say, you're crazy. No, you're crazy. And so I don't. I mean, if somebody does that to me, I'm like, even if they're good, I'm like, no, I'm not interested in you because you have not shown me any value yet. And so I feel the same way. You have to be not wanting it too much. So feeling like it's desperate, right? You don't want to be desperate. And so even when I meet with people for as clients, new clients for Zoetica, which is my agency, I'll say, let's have a phone call. Let's do a discovery call. Let's see if we're the right fit for you. And sometimes I tell them I'm not the right fit for them, even if I'm really hungry for new business. Yeah, you need to tell people that they're not the right fit for you sometimes. And that means you need to be clear on what the right fit is, which is another video. I can talk about that in a different video if you guys want me to, but knowing exactly who you can help the most is really important part of this too. Yeah, business strategy consultants. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's lovely to have business strategy. And by the way, that's basically what I'm doing with Smart Social Mastery. This is, a strategy for how you can be visible as a consultant. And, but you can't want it too much. You can't you just can't. You've got to find a way inside of yourself to understand that you're in it for the long haul. You're definitely building something. And even if you launch and it's not that great, it's not like making that much money yet or whatever. I mean, Smart Social Mastery and my founders launch, I'll be real clear, we're not making tons of money on that launch. I have set that price. I set that price pretty low for founders because I need the experience with them. I need to know what they need, what they want, what works, what doesn't work. So I'm good with working with them for 6 weeks or so and then opening again, and it'll even be better for the next group, right? And so it's a membership thing. So it's just long haul, guys, long view. And I guess, I've been doing this as a consultant since 2002, so 20 years now. And what I've learned in those 20 years is that the distance matters. It's like so many people burn out of this industry, especially social media. So many people burn out. And so I've always taken the long view, like I'm working for the future. I'm working for, long-term relationships. I work with my clients for years generally. Our average, I don't even know, our average client for Zoetica is like 2 to 3 years, and some of them are 5, 10. We work with people a really long time. And that's because I take that long view. It's really important. And, usually when we get lost from an account, it's because there's a change of the guard and there's somebody new, and they're wanting new, and they want to bring in their people, whatever. But my point is that we barely ever turn over on a client. So there you go. Um, how many motivational listeners? I don't know what he's talking about, but I am a motivational listener. I learned that from you, D. Scott. I never heard that term until I met you, but I like to listen. I like to listen to what people are saying and reflect it back to them, and then find solutions to help them with those problems. And that's what you need to do too. You need to know who you love to work with. Think about your favorite client that you ever had, or your favorite person that you've ever worked with, and then, reverse engineer that. Try to attract more of those. How do you do that? It's by how you're being and what you're putting up in front of them. And part of it is just reflecting back to them what they're saying. And then you'll attract more people that resonate with that. Who said that? Who said that? Oh, thank you, Russ. 100 thanks for you too. I love your 100 thanks. He has this really great campaign. So if you want to thank somebody, definitely write down 1,000 thanks as a hashtag. The awesome, awesome community, and you'll attract them. Yeah, and Marilyn said it helps you to identify with them earlier. And that's exactly why. You want to have messaging out there that attracts people to you that are the right fit, and that helps them to identify with you as a person, as a professional, all of those things. And so I like to be around positive people. That's what I like. If you're negative and you're really, grumbly, I try to stay away from that, because it's infectious. Anything that whoever you hang out with, that's how you're affected, and infected. And so I really try to hang out with positive people, because I can get into a really, believe it or not, negative, critical state. And I've hung around like in groups and stuff sometimes that were negative and critical, and I didn't like how that turned out for me. So I like to be around positive people, and I like to be around people that are in that kind of state, that are looking to improve themselves and to help other people, that are looking for impact and income, not just income, and not just trying to push themselves forward, but they're looking for impact too, meaning they want to make changes in this world that are positive. And so that is what I'm all about. If you're like that too, then hey, you're my people. So hopefully you are, and a lot of you are here. I know you personally, so I know. And yeah, so there you go. And I agree 100%. Sincerity and wanting to help others matter is so attractive. Yes, because if you are about somebody else, we're going to like you more. Actually, it's really a funny thing that if you have a conversation with someone and you spend more time listening to them than talking, then they'll leave with a more favorable opinion of you than if you just talk about yourself the whole time. So that's something to think about. Motivational listening. That's you, D. Scott. Love that. Yes. I like that too. Yeah. So Kathleen says she's shocked when people find out that she wants to actually help them. Yes. That does shock people, because it seems like somebody's always trying to sell you, or somebody's always trying to, get you to do something. And that really kind of sucks. It feels like they're manipulating you, right? When that happens, they're trying to get you to do something, and you can't really be successful that way. I don't believe. I mean, I think there's a modicum of success you can have, but I think it's empty. I think it's hollow, or at least it would be for me. It would be super hollow if I made lots and lots of money, but I had no relationships with people. So I'm not looking for ways to automate things. And I mean, automate things that you can, like, the grunt work and stuff, but I'm not looking for ways to automate the relationships, because that's where I get job satisfaction, joy, all of that. So anyway, that is all. That's all I have for you guys today. Those 3 things, I'll go back and kind of go over them one more time so that you can remember them. I didn't put them all in one slide. That was kind of a mistake, I guess. Anyway, so number 1, really get to know people's problems and their objections in advance, so that you can then use their language exactly for your marketing and your ads and your copy and all the stuff that you do. And number three, then you're going to want to really be in it for the long term, care more about them than the sale. So don't try too hard. Don't try too hard. That's how it is. You knew the most attractive guy in school, like when I was in high school, was like the aloof guy that's like, ooh, and he was friendly, but he wasn't too into you. Like he was just friendly and like laid back. Be that guy. Be the laid back, friendly person that like is like, hey, I'd love to work with you if you want to. Like I said, if you guys want to come to Instant Authority and you didn't last time, send me a DM. I'm happy to send you some information about it. But in the end of the day, if you come or don't come, it's really about like, are you a right fit for this program, right? So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So that's it. Yeah, it is the difference between marketing and public relations. Actually, Marilyn, I'm glad you said this because I grew up in a public relations background, right? So it's all about two-way communication and all of that. That's why I loved social media. It was the first time that I felt that I could scale two-way communication, that model. But I will tell you, as a public relations person, I've learned that I also have to be a marketer. And so I don't think marketing should be a dirty word. I think that we should infuse the marketing with our public relations sensibility of relationships and building of those things, and I think it makes it a better thing for everyone. So that's it. Thank you for having the last word, Marilyn. I love it. All right, guys, take care, and I will talk to you next week.